Hey everybody, what's going on? We're here to give you some Monza Juve pregame. It's a Thursday recording for a pregame, which is something I never thought I'd be
We're
doing, but we're
going
going
to
to be
be
doing
doing
it.
it 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, quite frequently. So again, we've got a lot of stuff that's been popping up on the channel, so a lot of stuff for you to dive and digest. I know we gave you an hour, 45-minute stream last night of news and shenanigans, so we do hope that you have 10 minutes to spare for this one, because Dave and I are going to break down the presser, the lineups, and just some stuff that we need to see against Monza. It's going to be a little bit short and sweet and a little bit easy to digest. So when you're walking your dog in the morning, yeah, you can listen to this for 10 minutes. But Dave, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Yeah, an odd one. Thursday night, it's going to be a 2:45 Eastern time kickoff tomorrow. So it's going to be the classic fly in from work, throw the stream up. It'll be razzle dazzle, but it'll be good. We'll get into it. So hopefully there's more excitement to tomorrow's match outside of me just sliding in for a live stream. Recent performances on display, of course, right? But otherwise, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy for another match day. Just week after week, we got a good steady momentum going. And
Yeah, we're actually
Monza.
we're working during the Christmas break because there's
Yeah.
a match on the 23rd too. So we're
Yeah,
you're gonna get us a lot.
Festivus special, December 23rd. Wait for it. We have a match day live and a Festivus special, both on the same day. So
We just got to reach out to the content creators for it.
yeah, I gotta start doing that.
Yeah, we're gonna start.
Which, if you guys don't know, we did it last year. It was our first year last year, but we basically invite every guest that we've had on the show previously to just come on for some shenanigans, Christmas shenanigans.
It's a shit show.
Yeah. So, I mean, some people come, some people say, no, screw you. Some people are like, it's December 23rd, guys. I'm with my family, screw off. So it's hit and miss with who shows up. We literally invite everyone. So it's a turnout regardless. It's much like our call-in shows, but just
with
other content creators and journalists and whoever we got, right?
Hey, look, it's an excuse to slide away from your annoying family. Let's be honest here. There's some moments where you're like, I need about an hour and two to myself, and you get to spend it with us. So from our
Let's
home
dive
to
into it.
yours.
Let's dive into it. Festivus is still weeks away. Monza's tomorrow.
Speaking of homes, we are going into Monza's home tomorrow. So there's a couple of things that Allegri talked about, and I think some as far as regards of returns and some placements and some adjustments. So here's kind of the bullet points, a little bit short and sweet. So in regards to the defense, Danilo and Alexander will both be available. Locatelli will be evaluated in training. Hans will be evaluated in training today as well. So another potential for Hans. This game might be a good game for Hans to start and get some reps, like some actual repetitions on the ball. So that one, if I'm Allegri, I'm going to play him and actually utilize him.
Like for
So he
reals?
gets, yeah, like get the ball. I understand, guys. I understand the tactical approach that he did with Inter, where it was more so him being off the ball, not doing much with the ball. But this is going to be one of those games where he's able to get some touches in. In regards to the forward line, Chiesa and Vlahovic both played well against Inter, but the others are doing well as too. So we got some spiciness and training here from Massimiliano Allegri.
Competition.
This year, Dusan and Chiesa scored 5 goals. We need to find goals from the others. So he's looking at you, Moise Keane. As much as I love you with the gritty, I'm going to need you to start banging some goals because you're going to make me look dumb.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do this.
Yeah, so we're looking at some potential rotation here. So I think that's what Allegri's kind of insisting on. He's like, hey, I got to let these other guys get hot too.
He hinted at Parin. He never said he was going to play or alluded to it, but he mentioned his name.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means anything. Probably not.
It's possible. So in regards to league placement, players must have important ambition and desire to do something important. The minimum objective is qualify for the Champions League. So iterating again, he's like, guys, we're here for top 4. If we get the title, we'll get the title. I think that's what you're expecting, right? Like that's what he wants you to sit there and expect. And then following up, he says the season's a marathon, not a sprint. 2 points behind Inter is a source of pride and satisfaction. I can understand a couple of folks being jaded from this. I've seen some people on the internet being jaded about it.
He's being realistic, I think. You got to look at the
so.
squads, right? And
guys,
be 2 points off Inter, considering our squad and lack of depth. It's decent.
There's
It's
two
good.
things, right? Lack of depth and lack of personnel that we have. And I spent 45 minutes on a board yesterday explaining how important having a number 8 for our midfield is, and we do not have any 8s
But go watch
whatsoever.
that. I'm linking that at the end of the video, so
Yeah,
don't miss
so
that. Good one.
take it. I think it's like timestamp hour 20. I think that's when I started going over it. That was
Hour
like the
20.
hour 20, I think.
Okay, so an hour and 20 minutes, not hour
Yeah.
20. It wasn't a 20-hour. No, okay.
No, 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 no. It was like the timestamp 1 hour, 20 minutes and
Yeah,
blah blah blah
yeah, yeah.
seconds.
Just the way you
So
said it.
that I think that's
Clarify.
where it starts.
Yeah.
We need some folks to make timestamps for those videos for us because there's so much crap that goes on.
There is so much.
So that's one of those things where he's saying, look, and debate how you want to debate, but I think he's overachieved with what he has as far as a midfield and forward line. So
Mhm.
yeah, I get
Yep.
that, but I understand where people are getting jaded from. The other thing he mentions about that in regards to, he says, tomorrow will have to be the Juventus we were in the first 13 games, aggressive to the point, shut out defensively. Couple of things here. So he was asked about his contract and him leaving, obviously, because, Allegri out, Conte in, the whole shenanigans that happened over the past couple of days. He says, I have a contract with Juve until 2025. We're working together and well for the future of the club, and I hope to extend to 2026. So everybody can start panicking and having aneurysms because 2026. And
Yeah. I mean, what do you want? What do you want him to say though?
Well, I think like let's be honest, right? There's no additional player like coach that can replace him at this point. There isn't.
Well,
There's not a viable option.
Conte, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
So questions in regards to Monza. So he says Monza are a good team, well trained, good players who put everyone in difficulty, and that's really true because Monza, they might not be as hot as they were last season. They're still ball busters,
Mhm.
very big ball busters. Uh, and the other addition here to follow up with it, it says, in addition to not having lost at home yet, they're the only team that took 6 points away from us last season, which we didn't score. Let's not forget about that. And he's right. They shut us out both games.
It's brutal. It was brutal. So it's our chupacabra, right? Like, we gotta find the spirit to break this one. It's
Yeah.
almost like I've compared it to Italy and Macedonia, and Italy finally did break that wall.
They're a duck. It is a duck. We lost to them at home 2-0 in January, and we lost to them in September 1-0. So we got to get some ground here. We definitely got to come up here and regain some structure here.
All right, what else did this old man say?
That's pretty much it.
That's it. All right, let's get into the lineups then.
Yeah, we shall. That we shall get into. So pulling up the lineup. Oh, you got it. Cool. Beat me
Yeah,
to
here
it.
we go.
All right. So looking at what we're projected here, so we've got Tekken, Nat, Gatti, Bremer, and Rugani. That's a given for your back three. Possibly you might see Danilo feature, but I doubt it just because I think Allegri doesn't want to risk him getting injured before Napoli. You have Cambiaso, McKennie, Locatelli, Rabiot, and Kostic as your midfield five. No surprises there. I think there's a possibility where you have Hans swapping out for Locatelli, but you never know, right? And then from the forward line, you have Chiesa and Dusan Vlahovic. That are your main two strikers up top. Could potentially see Keane. There might be an opportunity for it, but almost similar to the squad that we saw against Inter.
I think no, Keane's gonna get rotated in. I would say maybe even Milik, but we also have Sandro, Danilo. Did they get minutes just to get those legs moving? They're definitely not starting. I think this is good. I like this lineup overall. I agree. Locatelli Hans might be a toss up game day. We'll see. But otherwise, yeah, solid. Definitely more than enough to take this Monza team.
Yeah, defensively, I think they're solid. My only concern is offensively, is that midfielder able to really sync up and create the triangles to move the ball or control or maintain some decent passes and some decent pressing? Because the moment we force Kostic or Cambiaso up too high, we're just asking for trouble at that point. Because if you watch the film, essentially Kostic pushes up really high, leaves Dragani to shuffle late, and then Inter just blasts us with a counterattack. So I'm hoping that's the case where our midfielders can stretch the field and invert properly, but beggars can't be choosers because unfortunately the midfield that we have is not very technical on the ball. So this might be one of those results that you kind of have to grind out.
Well, we'll see. I mean, on paper,
On paper, of course.
Monza overperforms. Let's be honest. That's what we have to watch out for. They do overperform. They have good squad composition. Nothing. They don't have huge names, but they have names people recognize. One of them we're connected to, which is Colpani. They're number
Yes.
10, or he's 28, but he plays as a number 10.
Yep.
So I mean, they got names Pessina. He's been around.
Gagliardini from Inter, D'Ambrosio.
Calderola.
They had
They've been around.
Yeah, they're an upset squad. They're 9th on the table. They're an upset squad, right? They're ball busters. It's what they are. It's how like Frosinone is right now too. They're ball buster squads. Are they going to go anywhere? No. Should you beat them? Absolutely. But
Will you?
Will you? Right? That's going to be one of those questions. And folks can sit there. Oh my gosh, look at how far Juve is falling off. They're having questions about beating Monza. Guys, man, there's teams in Serie A. There's always those teams that do, like, I like to call them ball busters because they just give you a stupid game, like a ridiculously tough game. Sassuolo used to be that. Their goalkeeper would turn into prime Buffon every time we'd play them. So there's teams like that. And Monza, especially with Palladino, they're one of those teams that do that. Because if I were to pull up Monza's match history this season of fixtures that they've played and upsets, notable upsets that they've had, they haven't really had anything big where they've busted balls, but they've held Lazio in Rome to a 1-1 draw. That's going to be one thing there. Notable, they held Bologna, and everyone's complimenting Bologna. They beat Sassuolo. Narrow 1-0 loss against Roma. And then obviously the Inter was a 2-0 loss there, but they're good at getting results, and Monza is extremely difficult to beat at home. They have not lost a match at home. So if you look at the record, the only match that they've lost is at Atalanta, at Inter, and at Roma. Those are the 3 matches they've lost. Everything else has been a draw or a victory for them at home. So obviously we have yet to see a big team play them at home as well, but against all the other teams, they're getting points at home. So it's what you expect from a province side.
You can't say provincial.
Provincial. There we go. I just said it. For some reason,
You
I
stuttered
struggled.
on it yesterday too. It's funny.
I know. I couldn't say it for some reason. Provincial. It's just like my head is thinking one thing. Provincial. I don't know. It's
maybe you're trying to say like provinciale, like the Italian.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, for some reason, I don't know why when I'm speaking, like when I'm looking at anything Serie A, I just decide to like flip the switch and go Italian on it. It's dumb.
That's fine. It's fine. But you got to commit. You're not committing.
I know, unfortunately.
All right. Well, that being said, those are the lineups. Monza in the 3-4-1-2. It's going to be tough. It's just going to be, I think, a grinding. I'm stuttering on my own words now. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those matches. It's gonna suck, but somehow, 1-0, Allegri ball for the victory.
Yeah, I think the main thing you need to watch for is, can Rabiot, McKennie, I'm assuming those two are going to be the pivots. Can those two gentlemen be able to open up and stretch the field for some opportunities to flow through the middle, or some opportunities to flow through in general? That is going to be your key point. If Hans starts, how can Hans conduct play? Because when we played Inter, we didn't build from a 4-2. We didn't do the 4-2 build. We did a 4-3-3 build. It was through Kostic pinned back deep, Kostic facilitating play. Are we going to see that again? Because I'm not a big fan of it because it's very slow. It's not the greatest. I think
it didn't really work.
It's good when you build with Loca, but guys, our midfielders need to step their games up. Maybe I'm overreacting, but we need some better transition from our midfield play. Like Rabiot has been non-existent.
You got to save this. You got to save this for the Colin.
I do.
Man, get Dash going. Got him going we've been live every single day this week, and I still can't keep you simmered down here. Come on, Dash. I got one last thing for you to do.
Damn it.
All right, man. Well, you know your job. Let's hit it.
Alrighty, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the pre-match show. Again, folks, remember, there's a lot of content this week that you can dive into, so dive into that. Always remember to like the video, because more liked videos, it pushes through the algorithm. And also, if you know any other Juventini, English-speaking Juventini, send them our way, because we don't bite. We coddle. to an extent.
You were a little bitey last night, Dash.
I was a little bit bitey last night, but it wasn't all love. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it's all love. So, on that note, folks, we'll see you tomorrow.